Because I think the purpose of faith is to get human beings to live on a higher plane than the animals in the jungle, and that there's something bigger going on that's bigger than all of us.
And we're back.
Yes, we are. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ray. I'm with my boy Connor. Welcome to the Dear Pats Nation podcast here on the Dear Pats Nation YouTube channel, simulcasted on the Patriots News Desk, our news YouTube channel, because we are giving our instant reaction of the Patriots preseason win over the Washington football team. Connor, why don't I give you my quick notes of the game? I got about 12 of them.
All right.
Quick notes, and then we can have a discussion.
Nice. Okay? I'm excited.
Maybe you can just say yes or no and tell me if you agree with my notes.
All right.
Matthew Judon, elite.
Yes.
Josh Uche, fantastic.
Yes.
Both Washington and New England have an elite front seven.
Yes. Yes. Very much so.
Jalen Mills is becoming a concern.
Yeah. I don't remember him, but I don't know.
He got burnt twice.
That was him?
Yeah. Number 2. Got burnt twice.
Oh, he's number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Got burnt on Fitzpatrick's first throw of the game.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
Then he got burnt on a play that actually I think Heineke missed through. Otherwise, he was going to get torched as well, and they probably went for a touchdown.
That was McLaren on him in the beginning?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know that play.
So, twice.
Yep.
Targeted twice, burnt twice. Jacoby Myers looked like the wide receiver 1 tonight.
Yes, 100%.
We got a tasty sample of what Jonnu Smith can do.
Yes, that was probably my favorite thing from the offense. He had that catch in the first quarter was phenomenal.
Damian Harris is elite.
Yes, that too.
Cam Newton was okay.
He was okay.
Mac Jones, solid.
Yeah, Mac Jones was pretty good.
New England has a crazy strong running back room.
Yes, especially, Mr. Ramondre Stevenson at the end there.
Yeah, good on Ron Rivera, too, for taking that time out. He deserves everything he got on that play.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Quinn Nordine is really, really good.
Yes, and I think, at this point, the Patriots are going to have no choice but to carry 2 kickers on the team.
Yeah, he hit his second extra point.
Hey, I'm just saying, they should have, 2 kickers just in case. Have each of them do, 2 separate jobs.
Just so you know, Nick Folk, actually, his worst stats last year were extra points.
Oh, boy.
So he's not like an ace to bring in for extra points.
They'll probably just use him for kickoffs then.
No, Jake Bailey kicks off.
They'll probably use him.
Because Nick Folk's leg wasn't strong enough and it wasn't accurate enough on kickoff, so they switched to Jake Bailey.
They'll probably use him just for game winners.
Dude, the kid hit 50 today.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And he hit it down the middle like nothing.
That was pretty good.
All right, we'll get back into your now desperate attempt to keep Nick Folk on this team. Josh McDaniels called the perfect game for Mac Jones today.
Yeah, screens, slants. That was basically it.
Yeah, check downs. It's just my camera. Check downs.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he played it safe and did well for him. Christian Wilkerson didn't do enough for me today for a guy who was fighting for a roster spot. He
could have caught that pass in the end zone. He didn't.
No, and then there's just other plays he didn't get open. He just didn't do enough.
He wasn't overly impressive.
N'Keal Harry didn't look good today. He got a lot of play time against second and third stringers and couldn't get separation.
Yeah, I didn't see him do anything.
I know they say that. I know people are arguing he only got targeted one time, but when they show the replays, he was covered and blanketed against second and third string secondary players. He could not get separation. Did not look good.
Yeah, it wasn't a good night for him. He had that one catch and he didn't really shake any tackles.
Quiet day for Kyle Van Noy, who actually got a lot of play time today.
Yeah, I don't even really remember him doing anything.
No, Kyle Duggar struggled a little bit today. Takeaway from this game.
Yeah,
it was a little surprising. And 3 special teams penalties and a muffed punt. Belichick is going to lose sleep tonight.
Yeah, thank God it's the preseason, or he would probably really lose his mind.
I think the penalties came from having a new long snapper.
That does make it
Which
difficult.
I said to you, losing Joe Cardona is not as it wasn't as small as I think some people are like, well, it's only the long snapper. I'm like, no, everything is timing in special
Yeah.
teams. It's all timing. So,
Yeah, buddy.
where do you want to start? You want to start with the offense? You want to start with the defense? You want to start with the fact that Quinn Nordin spells his name wrong?
I want to start with Ross's super chat.
Oh my God.
He
I can only
says,
imagine.
fantastic running backs and subpar QB play
Are you gonna-
shades.
Can you hear me? I know I'm
I can
frozen.
hear you, yeah.
Okay. Ross, you and I have been going at it on Twitter. I don't know what you want. So you had Josh McDaniels playing it really safe with Mac Jones, where they were throwing checkdowns and in screenplays. I don't know what you were expecting out of Brian Hoyer. Like, you're hot that Brian Hoyer didn't throw a touchdown. Guess what? I don't think he did it against the Kansas City Chiefs either. That's why he lost the backup role to Jarrett Stidham. Brian Hoyer's an awful quarterback.
Hey, he led them on a touchdown drive.
And Cam Newton had 2 drives. Two possessions. 2 possessions. Against
2 possessions, yes.
And the Patriots offensive line, you want to talk about subpar? Got dominated and embarrassed by that Washington front 7 on that first drive.
Yeah.
And then they got down to 1st and goal and now granted it was off a Damian Harris run, but it got called back on a penalty. Then they went in obvious passing downs where you can play different defense. Mac Jones looked great for a rookie quarterback making his NFL debut. Cam Newton played 2 possessions. He didn't even play an entire quarter. And I tweeted out that he got just buried alive by that defense in his first possession. His second possession, he built a bit of a rhythm, and I tweeted out that I want him to get one more possession to see if he can carry that rhythm over. Unfortunately, I think they pulled him one too early for me to make an assessment on what Cam Newton was going to look like, because you got to let the guy try. It's a preseason game where they probably had 20 total pass plays on a team that has over 100 passing plays in their playbook. It's a team that, for no reason whatsoever, just ran the ball 3 times while Mac Jones was out there, and that was just to get the run game going. It's a team that didn't care whether they won or lost this game because it's a preseason game. And on top of it, you're upset because they didn't throw a touchdown pass. Then you shouldn't be mad at the quarterbacks. You should be mad at Christian Wilkerson, who dropped the touchdown pass in the end zone. I haven't once heard you talk about Wilkerson. You're getting way too hot over a preseason game. And you're the guy who defended Cam Newton all the offseason. So if this is how you feel right now, then cut him now. And let's go with Mac Jones. Because if you think Cam's going to get better, this is what it is. And I'm not going after Cam. This is just me trying to make a point right now. You need to chill. Have a what does he drink? Jameson?
Something.
Have a
Scotch
Jameson,
whiskey.
have a Scotch whiskey, take a breath, and relax. It was preseason game 1.
They didn't put forth like an overwhelming effort, which I didn't expect them to. I thought they took Cam. I was hoping they were going to give Cam one more drive, and then I was hoping they were going to give Mac one more drive, but I don't think Belichick cared.
Well, and Mac Jones was also throwing to Gunnar Olszewski.
Yep. Wilkerson a lot.
Wilkerson and N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
That was his wide receivers. And he had that. I think he had Jacoby Myers for 1 drive. Or for 1 possession there. So what I'm saying is imagine if Mac Jones would have had Jonnu Smith, played all that time and had Jonnu Smith, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar didn't play today. Hunter Henry's out.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, there were a lot of people that weren't out there. I mean, I wouldn't even want them to be out there either.
You're just getting too hot, buddy. I think tomorrow you're going to wake up and go, oh, I overreacted to this.
We have another super chat here, too.
Hold on. Is it Ross?
No, it's co-creators.
Okay. Let me finish this point. It's the co-creators?
Yes.
I think that's Love Vibration Nation.
It looks like his symbol.
Yeah. Because that's his show, the co-creators. That's the radio show. So let me finish this one first. So I'm not sure if you're getting hot just because of the arguments that are coming on Twitter, but it was the first preseason game, man. Chill. Because you know that I'm looking for a reason not to let Cam Newton make me look stupid. Right? You know I'm looking for the reason to turn around and say, see, I was right. He's garbage. But I can't do that today.
Not after 2 possessions, one of which was pretty good. So Love Vibration Nation, hiding himself as the co-creators here. If BB can't draft, then why did Jones and Stevenson look competent? Wilkerson dropped the TD and Harry disappeared with Andrews out, O-line not the same. #facts.
Yeah. I'm not going to blame the O-line on that first possession. Again, imagine your first real action of the year. You're going up against Chase Young.
Right.
And just, they got a great front seven. The offensive line's protection looked much better once they got into the second possession and they got on the field the second time. Again, it's why I wanted Cam Newton to get one more opportunity, because
Right.
it looked like he built some rhythm. The offensive line seemed to have got it together a little bit, and I wanted to see one more chance for them. Ramondre Stevenson is phenomenal. We were talking about it in the group chat. We pray and hope that he doesn't get redshirted this year, because that kid is LeGarrette Blunt on steroids and can actually catch the ball, and phenomenal. Damian Harris is an absolute beast, and I think Sony Michel is going to be a good complementary piece. And good on JJ Taylor. Solid game for him today.
Yeah. He had that catch where he shook a tackle, made it for a first down. That was cool. I mean, the future, man, Jones and Stevenson, we saw it tonight. Just based on the little that we saw, it looks like it's going to be what we expected, a great draft class. And, this is going to be the future quarterback and the future running back of the team.
Well, and I think that when you're talking about a young offense,
yep,
you've got a young Jacoby Myers who's only in his third year.
Right.
You've got rookie Mac Jones. You've got Damian Harris, who's in his third year now.
Yep.
Because don't forget, he didn't really play his rookie season. You've got Ramondre Stevenson, who's a rookie. You got Kendrick Bourne, who's young. You've got Aguilar, who's fairly young.
Yep.
You've got a nice little young nucleus here of players that can, get together. And I'm going to, I'll tell you one thing that interested me today. Devin Asiasi didn't get a lot of time out on the field. Belichick kind of had him lined up with the starters, and Matt Lacoste came in with Mac Jones and the backups.
Right. Maybe that's what it's going to be. I think Matt Lacoste is fighting for his job more than Devin Asiasi is.
I just can't. Do you see the Patriots carrying 4 tight ends?
I don't know. It's so tough because I know there's going to be a lot of people who he's keeping them for different reasons. Like if he keeps Brandon Bolden, he's keeping him for special teams, and they're not really carrying 5 or 6 running backs, even though they obviously are. You know what I mean?
Well, if they carry that, I don't know if Bolden's going to make the team now.
Me neither.
Because let me name the running backs, and you tell me if they should make the team or not.
Yep.
Damian Harris.
Yes.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Yes.
James White.
Yes.
JJ Taylor.
Probably.
Tough, but not that tough. Sony Michel.
Yeah, he'll be on the team, I think.
That's 5.
Right.
Are you really going to carry a 6th?
Right.
Just for special teams?
They probably won't.
Now, what I could see them is carrying Wilkerson for his special teams.
Right.
Because he could, being young like that, he could be that sort of next staple. Don't forget, Bethel's is older. Slater's at the end of his career. They need to kind of replace those gunners, and maybe Wilkerson becomes that replacement.
And then, yeah, they're probably going to keep Gunner mostly just for special teams.
Well, again, and listen, I don't see, this is my thing. Maybe it's not Wilkerson. Like, because you think about Aguilar. Okay, let's talk about the receivers who are definitely on this team. Aguilar, yes. Kendrick Bourne, yes. Jacoby Myers, yes.
Right.
I think Gunner, yes. He's going to be the punt returner. Right? So that's 4. Slater, because of special teams, that's 5. That leaves N'Keal Harry, Isaiah Zuber.
Yep.
Christian Wilkerson. Like, they've already got 5 with only 3 real receivers.
Right.
And we all know they're going to trade for Michael Thomas. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
There's a good chance only if Julio doesn't decide to come over from Tennessee.
Somehow figure out how to force a trade out of there as well.
Could happen.
Or Odell Beckham Jr. We haven't had a good Odell Beckham Jr. conversation in a while.
I'm sure he's on his way over pretty soon.
Probably. So you're talking like 8 receivers. So you're talking 4 tight ends.
Right.
5 if you count Dalton Keene.
Yeah.
6 running backs and 8 receivers. There's going to be some players who we thought had a chance to make this team who aren't going to make this team.
Yeah, multiple.
Because then when you get to the defensive side of things, I mean, like we said, I mean, Matthew Judon was elite, showed his eliteness today. The first drive of the game disrupts the quarterback, comes around the edge, gets behind the running back, stops him on 3rd and 2, breaks up a Ryan Fitzpatrick pass on the next play, and just played absolutely elite. Josh Uche comes in, plays absolutely phenomenal, right? I don't think we saw much of Deatrice Weiss Jr. today. You got Henry Anderson, who's that run stopper on the edge. And then you got the other players in Hightower, Van Noy, and Bentley. Like, where does Chase Winovich fit on this team? I know he's hurt right now, but where does he fit on this team?
Yeah, he's on the outside looking in.
You know, then you look at, I mean, I don't know, where does Jawan Williams fit on this team? When you've got, when you look at the whole secondary, you got hopefully Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, Jonathan Jones, Jalen Mills, Devin McCourty, Adrian Phillips, Kyle Duggar. That's 7. Maybe Jawan Williams fits in at 8. You know what I mean? Because you want to carry about 8 to 9 secondary guys. Like, this is going to be a tough roster cut for Bill Belichick. Like, this isn't one where there's like an obvious guy who should be cut and who shouldn't be cut. You know what I mean? This could be a crazy year where we see, and I'm not predicting it's going to happen, but this could be a crazy year where we see like Sony Michel get traded just because of sheer numbers.
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there's going to have to be somebody who they're going to have to cut or trade or make room for because there's just too many people on the team right now.
By the way, for anybody who's wondering, the number 10 jersey I'm wearing, for those of you on the podcast, I'm wearing a number 10. It's not a Mac Jones.
It's Antonio Brown.
No, Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon, nice. That's who it was.
I thought it'd be a good little troll, though.
Nice.
To wear, because I had my Edelman on, and I said to my wife, once I saw that Mac was keeping 10, I said, "Oh, I got to throw the number 10 on just to troll a little bit."
Yeah, I had to. All right, we got another super chat here from Sheldon Hickman. It says Washington has one of the best front sevens in the league. Also, Wilkerson was covered well on the drop. Wide receiver room too small for Wilkerson not to make it. Washington probably has the best front seven in the entire league, and I think Chase Young, we saw just in that one play that he was in there tonight, is just an absolute beast. Wilkerson was well covered, but I still thought he had an opportunity to catch it. Wide receiver room is kind of small after the top 3, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does make it. But yeah, he was kind of covered on it, but I still thought he could have came down with it.
My concern with Wilkerson today is my same concern I had with Harry. Like with Wilkerson, outside of the checkdowns and screen passes, Wilkerson was well covered on every play.
Yeah.
I mean, he made that one catch where he split between 2 defenders, but that was more of just a dime it was an anticipatory throw by Mac Jones, where I know we haven't even really talked about the quarterbacks yet today, but I mean, we did, but I mean, Mac Jones made some throws today. Like, you know,
he did.
Two-step drop, 4-step drop, and then a quick pass out. I mean, just but that one that he made to Wilkerson, that was way more about Mac Jones throwing. He threw that ball before Wilkerson turned around.
Yeah,
like,
he
that
did.
was vintage. That was vintage Patriots offense. Throw to the spot, not to the player. So I don't look at Wilkerson and say great catch. To me, that was Mac Jones elevating Christian Wilkerson.
Yeah, and Mac Jones was pretty good out there. He did a lot of that. It seems like that's going to be his bread and butter. He's going to sit in the pocket and he's going to hit those, 8 to 12 yard passes like crazy.
He had a couple moments he probably wants back, but I mean, every quarter, like he just missed Gunner on that one play. He missed a screenshot. There was another one where he checked it down to JJ Taylor, and I think he had Wilkerson open down the field. But I mean, besides that, I thought he did really, really well for a rookie debut.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any complaints about what I saw out of Mac Jones tonight.
Like I said, Cam Newton wasn't horrible today. I wouldn't even say he was bad.
He was fine on that second drive.
Yeah, he looked pretty good on the second drive. And yeah, I totally agree with Hickman. That's what I was saying with Sheldon. It was a total that first drive, the offensive line got absolutely just eaten alive and dominated.
Yep.
And this was just a case of they needed it. I wanted Cam. If Cam would have came out on a third drive and would have looked bad, I would have turned around and said, okay, this was a bad outing for Cam Newton. But he didn't get the third possession.
Right.
He built some momentum on the second, and I wanted to see him come out with the starters and play the third, but he didn't. So to me, we couldn't make the proper assessment. He got some work in. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much to go off base outside of that. That's exactly how I felt. There was 2 drives, and the first one was extremely quick, and it was more just how fantastic their line was than anything else.
Well, like I'm expecting Jonnu Smith to catch more than one pass a game.
Right. I would hope so, yeah.
What a pass. What a catch. I mean, what a catch and run. That's why you brought Jonnu Smith. He's one of the harder, like that's what Belichick said. Like there's nobody better than him after catching the football. And we saw just a tasty little sample of that today that got me just, oh man, he should have been wearing
great.
He should have been wearing 85 or 81. He should have had the
It's gonna be great.
If the last name said Hernandez, I would have believed you.
Right.
You know, that's how elite that play looked. It was just gorgeous. I absolutely loved it. And Jacoby Myers, that catch he made that went incomplete but was an actual catch, and obviously Belichick had just no.
Yeah, Belichick just didn't care. He probably
challenged
knew.
nothing.
Yeah. Challenged nothing,
He
exactly.
could have challenged spots. He challenged nothing today. He didn't
care.
timeout.
Yeah.
I think he took one timeout the whole game on defense. Like you could tell they were just trying things. Like I said, there was one drive and they just ran the ball 3 times and you know, everybody on Twitter is flipping out, right? Like, oh, you know, McDaniel's in midseason form. But Zolak said it, you're a running team, and Belichick is saying we got to try to get a first down running the football. And he handed the ball off to Sony Michel. Sony Michel didn't get the job done, unfortunately.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. I don't think Belichick really cared. All right, we got a super chat here from King Cato, friend of the show, Joe. He says, am I correct? They had Harry blocking decently on short passes.
Yes, he did very well on screen pass blocking.
Yeah, I don't remember. Obviously, yeah, that must have been what he was doing, is blocking.
He did. He blocked really well, but he's good at getting dirty, and that's always been a good. Last year he didn't do well, but his first year he did well. He's good at getting dirty and blocking and making those blocks. He did well blocking. Again, though, N'Keal Harry cannot take a roster spot because he's a good blocking wide receiver. He needs to start contributing more on this team.
Yeah, I mean, that's not going to cut it. He's going to need to start making some plays. He's going to need to catch the ball and shake a few tackles and get separation. I mean, if he can block, fantastic. That's obviously going to help him make the team, but they're not going to hold on to him just because he can block decent.
So can we get back to how Nick Folk isn't going to have a job?
We'll see. Nick Folk, he's not out just yet, but worst case scenario, they have the second best kicker in the league right behind him. The Patriots right now have the 2 best kickers in the NFL.
They have the GOAT on the roster. We know that. Quinn Nordin.
Yes.
Now, I've told Quinn Nordin that if he wants me to say his name right, he needs to spell it right.
Yeah, I'll message him and tell him to message you and tell you the right spelling.
Well, Nordin is not Nordin. It's Nordin.
Nordin, that's how I would pronounce it, yeah.
Yes, right? So people always get on me about saying people's last names right. If people just spelt their last names right, then we wouldn't have this issue.
That's correct. I don't think it's an issue on our part. It's an issue on their part. They should spell it correctly.
I agree 100%.
So that's more on them than it is on us.
Yes, it's on them.
All right, we got another one here from Mike Baker. He says, takeaways, this damn running back room, man, can't wait to see Barmore. This team needs Gilly back. Nelly and Henry are going to complete this offense amazingly. That's a good point, man. I haven't thought about it, but a lot of people just didn't play tonight. I mean, saw
McCourty didn't play, Hightower didn't play, Barmore didn't play.
Right. I forgot about Hightower. He was not out there either.
Hightower never plays the first or second. Like Hightower usually plays.
There's no point. He doesn't need to.
He plays one preseason game.
Yeah, which is fine.
If he was out there, I didn't notice him. He wasn't doing much.
Right.
Don't forget, Barmore's dealing with that foot injury. Right.
Don't push it. Don't push it.
Hunter Henry's out until week 1.
Yep.
You know, like that's my. Oh, you know who? Did we see Ronnie Perkins? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. I don't remember seeing him.
No.
There's another one. There are a lot of people out there that I just don't remember seeing now that I really think about it.
You know how much depth? Think about how much depth this front 7 has.
So it has a ton.
You got Devin Gotcha.
Yep.
You got Lawrence Guy. You got Christian Barmore. You got Ronnie Perkins. I'll say it, Chase Winovich, Josh Uche.
Yep.
Friggin'
Uche was out there a lot.
He was out there a lot. Matt Judon, Kyle Van Noy, Dante Hightower, Jawan Bentley. They can just rotate. Henry Anderson.
Yep.
they can just rotate all the, like, that front seven is so deep. It's unbelievable how deep it is. And we saw it tonight a little bit. Even when the third stringers were out there and second stringers, you're like, man, a couple of these guys could make this team as depth, and it just, this front seven's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean they might have to get rid of one of those guys too. When you look at it, they're deep at a lot of positions. I mean, the front seven, running back, wide receiver, oddly enough, in like a weird way, tight end, obviously someone's getting cut there, whether it's one of the rookies from last season or whether it's Matt Lacoste. Somebody's not going to make it. Then let's look at the quarterback situation. Do they want to keep Brian Hoyer?
No.
Right, they probably won't.
No, they got Jared Stidham as well, right? Who's hurt right now. He'll probably be on the pup list this year.
That's what I figured.
I got a question. Who's Nelly? Or did he write Nikhil and his phone change it to Nelly and Henry?
That must have been what it was. If Mike comments in, I'll look for it. But
yeah, because I
don't know who Nelly is.
I assume he wrote Nikhil, and he's got an iPhone like I do, and they just changed the word to whatever you want to change it to, and it changed it to Nelly.
Pretty much, yeah. That's.
Do you know that I've now paid for that friggin' premium thing on Twitter just so I can check my tweets after I send them, just to
what
see
does it do? You can. There's a premium Twitter.
Yeah, it's like
really?
Something like $2.99 a month or something like that. But I get, after I send a tweet, I get 1 minute to, like, before it sends, where I can undo it and go change what I wrote and all that kind of stuff. And
so it's an actual edit button on there.
Yes, but not all that, only for a minute. But I didn't get it for that. I got it for the bookmarks. That's more for the show, for me to organize show topics and stuff. So I did it to organize my bookmarks. That's really the only reason I did it.
Nice.
But that feature has come in quite handy, to be honest with you.
Wow, I didn't know you could do. You can get premium anything now. So there's a subscription service for everything, even Twitter.
Well, I have premium YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. And I love subscribing to things.
Yeah.
Like, my credit card company loves subscription services because they make so much credit off of me. Like, I subscribe to DAZN, which is like a sports app here. You guys have DAZN, right?
Yeah, I know DAZN. Yeah, I have it.
Yeah. I subscribe to DAZN because I get the NFL net, or the what do they call it? This Game Pass. I get Game Pass through DAZN. And I also get all the Premier Leagues and Champion Leagues, and I get boxing. So I get like 4 major sports for $20 a month. You can't go wrong. Okay, so I have DAZN.
That's actually a good deal.
I have DAZN. I have Netflix, Prime, Disney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? PFF, Twitter, YouTube.
Oh my
like
goodness.
I just, anything that has a subscription service, I will give my credit card number. I'm just like, take it.
It's that time of year too where I just have to sign up for HBO, watch it for a month, and quit so I can watch Hard Knocks.
Yes, I have Crave, which is a Canadian thing, and we get TV shows and stuff, but we also get like all the HBOs and Showtimes and all that kind of stuff as well.
Nice.
So yes, I have Showtime. Oh, and then like my TV subscription, like I subscribe to Sportsnet World, which is $20 a month, just for the off chance when Bayern plays. Just for the off chance when Bayern plays 5 games on Sportsnet World, to make sure I can watch it, because God forbid I miss it.
Keep sending the super chats, man. You got to pay for all these subscriptions.
The good news is things like DAZN and stuff; those are all tax write-offs for me.
Oh yeah, all right.
Well,
that's not bad then.
I need it, right?
Yeah.
So how do I cover the sport without
you have to? You're right. You have to have it.
Yeah. So yeah, I do get some, PFFs are write off and that kind of thing. But yes, people will learn with me. If there's a subscription, I will give you my credit card.
That's good to know. All right, we got another one here from Kincaid. It says, if the Patriots by some chance do release Folk, which team is going to grab him? Lord knows someone needs an improvement at kicker. Perkins played.
I would pick Washington, because that kicker missed, I think, every kick he made tonight.
Yeah, he was awful. He was very bad. There's definitely a team out there that needs a kicker. It happens every year. I'm sure someone would want to pick up Nick Folk. I'm not even just saying that. He has to be better than some kickers out there. I don't know.
Unless he's just like gets cut and his wife's like, babe, you're 140 years old.
Right. Be done.
Be done. Come home. You made your hundreds of thousands, because he didn't make millions. He made you made your hundreds of thousands.
Oh, he's on the books this year for 1.1 million guaranteed.
1.1 guaranteed. Which means even if they cut him,
he walks away with 1.1 million. I mean, he's been in the league for so long. He's made a lot of money, I'm sure, over over the years.
He played for the Rex Ryan Jets, where they overpaid everybody,
Right.
So yeah, no, he's absolutely made his money. So yeah, maybe he calls it quits because what is he, 38?
Something like that. Yeah. If I was him, I'd probably just retire. But Perkins, dude, I don't remember seeing him out there. But if Joe says he was, then he was.
I just don't remember him, so he must not have done much.
Yeah, it must have been easily overlooked, I guess.
I'm gonna look at his stats now, and it's the 12 tackles.
Yeah.
Should I quickly just bang through the stats? Let everybody know what the Patriots players did tonight.
Let's see it.
All right. So Mac Jones with 13 for 20 for 87 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns, 1 sack, rushed for 2 yards, or rushed twice. Rushed twice for 0 yards. Good old Tom Brady run.
That certainly is.
Cam Newton went 3 for 6 for 44 yards.
All right.
No interceptions. He didn't run the ball tonight either. Brian Hoyer went 2 for 3 for 14. So Brian Hoyer threw the ball 3 times tonight.
Nice. He lit it up. He lit it up out there.
Ramondre Stevenson ran the ball 8 times, 116 yards. Of course, 91 of those yards came on the on that final run, which means in Stevenson's first 7 in his first 7, he would have averaged like 1 and 1.5 yards per carry.
It only takes one.
Sony Michel went 6 carries, 26 yards, averaging 4.3 yards a carry.
All right. It's respectable.
Damian Harris, 4 for 17, 4.3 yards per carry. JJ Taylor went 2 rushes for 10 yards. Targeted 5 times. Went 5 for 5 for 31 yards. James White, 1 rush for 4 yards. He had a nice couple. He had a couple of passes, caught 2 balls, 3 for 2, 2 for 3 on catches for 22 yards. Brian Hoyer ran the ball twice for -1 yard.
It's not bad. It's decent average.
So he averaged -0.5 yards a carry.
That's not terrible.
Christian Wilkerson had 6 catches for 39 yards. That's like, again, those aren't good stats. Averaging 6.5 yards. JJ Taylor, 5 catches for 31. James White, 2 for 22. Jonnu Smith, 1 for 16. Kendrick Bourne, 1 for 13. Jacoby Myers, 1 for 11. Should have been 2 catches. Isaiah Zuber, 1 for 9. He had a bad drop today. Jakob Johnson, the German fullback, 1 for 5.
He had a good catch. I saw it.
N'Keal Harry, 1 for 4.
Yeah, that was not so good.
Here they have Nick Folk listed as kicking a field goal, but he didn't.
That's correct.
No. So Quinn Norden they're saying here that Quinn Norden kicked 2, but he kicked 3.
Yeah.
And they're saying that he went 0 for 1 on extra points, but he didn't. So he kept a 50 long. Yeah, for some reason they gave Folk one of his kicks. That's how good Nick Folk is. They just gave Norden one of Norden's kicks.
They had to.
So he was good 3 times, 1 from 50, 1 from 40, and I think 1 from 39, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Okay, defensively, should we? Lange had 5 tackles. Perkins had 4 tackles.
He was out there.
4 tackles, 1 assisted, so 5 in total. So he did it 5. So I that must have been at the point of the game where it was starting to drag for me.
Yeah.
Because he was their second top tackler today. Thurman had 4, Bryant had 4, Michael Jackson had 4, Gant had 4, Adams had 3, Bentley had 3, Duggar had 3, Bauer had 3, Phillips had 3, Gotcha had 3, Williams had 3, Jonathan Jones had 2, Kyle Van Noy had 3, but 2 were assisted. Josh Uche actually only had 1, but he was disrupting the quarterback all over the place. Lawrence Guy had 1. Henry Anderson had 1. Jalen Mills had 1. So, I mean, all in all, Matt Judon had 1, but
he barely played.
Matt Judon, in the time that he didn't play, tackled the running back for loss. He disrupted the quarterback and forced an incomplete pass. He broke up a passing play.
Yep.
Tore his ACL, went to the blue tent, fixed it himself, came back out.
I saw that,
and continued playing. And that was a pure ACL tear. He went to the blue tent and fixed it himself.
He just put it right back in.
Yeah.
Which was impressive.
It was. Hey, thanks everybody who's listening right now here on the Dear Pats Nation podcast, whether you're listening on any of your podcast networks or watching the live stream on YouTube. And we want to welcome in our fan base over on the Patriots news desk. We're doing a post-game reaction, so we're simulcasting, but this is what we do here at Dear Pats Nation. If you're ever wondering, when I have that link in the bottom saying watch the podcast, it's Connor and I are stupid and we talk about the Patriots. And
That's right.
when I do Patriots news desk, it's because I read what smarter people said and I just repeat it.
Absolutely. Speaking of smart people, we do have a super chat here from Ross. He says, while we disagree, Shades, there's no heat, buddy, only respect here. Moving on, thoughts on penalties and mental mistakes tonight. It's a good question. They did have a couple dumb penalties.
At the end, I don't take the fourth quarter penalties as anything.
I just don't. Yeah, the whole game in general, I don't get too worried about it.
The special team penalties concern me.
Yeah,
because they all came on punts and they came on their top unit, right? And that is miscommunication between the long snapper, the gunners, and Jake Bailey. And you heard on the first one, you could hear someone yell, "Hold your effing water," right? Which meant that play was designed to be a delayed snap. That play was designed to try to get Washington to jump offside.
right.
That's a bread and butter play for the Patriots. You ever watch them when they're on a punt and you're sitting there just going like, are they going to snap it? Are they going to snap it? Are they going to snap it? You know what I mean? Like, it's designed for that. And you can just tell that there's a lot of miscommunication there right now. Hopefully Joe Cordona can come back soon, because I think that those things get fixed. The holding calls, honestly, I think that was indicative when we were talking about the starters, that was indicative of going up against what I believe is the best front seven. I know people are going to say it's LA. I think that Aaron Donald's the best defensive player in the NFL, but I think collectively,
Yep.
It's Washington, and I think that Chase Young is going to start pushing him to being one of the best.
Chase Young's absurd.
Didn't I tell you that before the kid got drafted? I mean, I know people think I pump up OSU kids, but when everybody was pumping up Bosa when he got drafted to San Francisco, I kept saying, you guys haven't seen anything yet. Wait till you see Chase Young in the NFL next year. And then he got drafted, and you can just see over the summer he got bigger, he got stronger, and he got better. So, you know what? Sometimes when you play good teams, are going to take holding calls. And don't forget too, they've changed the rules now that I didn't realize, that Zolak was explaining tonight, where the offensive lineman, you're not allowed to chop block anymore. You're not allowed to take out the defender's knees. So it's an adjustment for the offensive line as well. So there's going to take some adjustment there.
Yeah, that too. But I don't know. I don't get too out of sorts based on anything that happens in the preseason. I mean, we could see even by Bill Belichick, he wasn't taking it that serious. Bill was just out there doing his thing. No challenges on plays you clearly would challenge during the regular season. Not much like overly excessive strategy out of anybody.
Absolutely. Well, the Patriots win. It meant nothing. Again, I think we listed way more positives than we listed negatives. It was a preseason game.
Yeah.
Are we good to wrap this up, Connor, or are we still?
Yeah. Those were the super chats.
Okay.
I got them all.
So I think that we'll probably wrap this up here for tonight. It's late. Connor is about to turn into a pumpkin.
Touché.
So we appreciate everybody who came in here to listen to the podcast tonight, or who downloaded it wherever you get your podcast. We appreciate the people who came over from the Patriots news desk, who we will simulcast during I guess when we do post games for the Patriots. So appreciate everybody. Until then, Connor, tell me about those Patriots.
They were legit, kid.
Because I think the purpose of faith is to get human beings to live on a higher plane than the animals in the jungle, and that there's something bigger going on that's bigger than all of us.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.